Hey, what's happening? They could say what they want. They could talk their trash on WABC. But do you know who's getting the better of everything every morning, every weekday morning, that is? Our good friend Curtis Sliwa. He is actually wreaking havoc on WOR like never before. And on the other station, that 50,000-watt juggernaut down the dial, up the dial, I should say, is actually falling on its face, trying to get revenge against our friend Curtis. They are still at it. It's been months and months and months, and they're still giving it to him every single chance that they get. And it's absolutely absurd. Not just absurd, it's embarrassing. Embarrassing. And I'll tell you who's getting the better of every turn, our friend Curtis. He is winning every battle. He is getting on top with every argument. He is just showing himself to be very versatile. He can work with any partner. He's been partnered with everybody, from Rita Cosby to some chick that I can't remember her name, some black chick, I can't remember her name, Ebony, I think her name was. What else? To all these, Curtis and Kubi. I can go down the list with all the co-hosts. Juliet Huddy comes to mind. I can go down the list. All these people he's been paired up with. Now he's paired up with Larry Mente on WOR. They make a nice team. Larry's a little bit, it's a little anticlimactic to listen to, if you will. I mean, Curtis kind of steals the whole show. And actually, what you see happening on OR is a guy in Larry Mente that's realizing that he has a star and that he needs to kind of acquiesce to his star. And the hierarchy is kind of working out, where you have Curtis dominating the program and you have Larry playing his usual second fiddle. And I like Larry, but you can't put talent there when it's not. That's the only thing. Curtis has talent. Curtis has wherewithal. He has a New York sensibility that Larry doesn't share. He does everything. He is a little cliche. He talks in rhymes and riddles. He's got stories that you don't quite buy into. But you got to remember what a radio host is supposed to be, an entertainer. You got to remember that you have to have the ability to think on your feet, to rise to the occasion, and to actually come through with the goods when you need to come through with the goods. This guy always does it, and no matter how they bash him on WABC, it doesn't matter. He's never turned around. He never varies. He's always the same. You get Curtis Sliwa, the real McCoy, every single time. Now, I heard from other sources, you don't know what you're talking about, Ralph. He's a big phony. He's stolen campaign funds. He's doing that. I don't know any of these allegations to be true. I can't sit here and talk to you about legal mumbo jumbo about what he did or did not do during the course of time during the election. I'm not about to tackle that whole mess, because that whole mess will bring me, right down, because I have no idea about that behind the scenes. But I'm talking about his performance every day on the radio. It is far better than Sid Rosenberg's performance with his crew that he has over on ABC. They do far too many commercials on WOR. That's one thing I could say that's not Curtis's fault. Far too many commercials, which I added in a previous video. You can't do a radio show when you're going to commercial every 2 minutes, but that's the format that iHeart adheres to. So that's a problem. But as far as the nuts and bolts and what he does day to day, Curtis is actually outperforming Rosenberg, outperforming those on WABC. And the Sliwa Mente show leading into the Simone show at 10 o'clock, going to 12 noon, that 6 a.m. to 12 noon span of time. WOR is a far better listen than who's the guy? Kilmeade at 10 o'clock, Sid preceding him. OR is a far better listen. If you could bear through these dumb commercials and these dumb ads, that's the problem. But, this is my report as, what is today? April 13th, a Monday. This is my report as to what's going on the radio politically. And then afterwards, they have something coming on WOR at noon Clay Travis and what's his name again? Buck Sexton, Sex Buxton, something like that. I don't go for it. I don't listen after that. But again, that 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock airspace right there is pretty darn good. Simone's always good. He could do better. He mails it in. I'm not a big Simone fan anymore, but he's far better than Kilmeade. Kilmeade reminds me of some kind of an auctioneer. I don't know how he's doing a radio show, but to me, he's not a good listen. I can't stand him on Fox News, and I can't stand him on the radio. I think he's average at best. But this video is dedicated to Curtis Sliwa, who actually had all the pressure on him from all this mayoral mess that he got himself into, which was unnecessary. You know, as I just go off topic here, completely unnecessary. He did not need to run for mayor. It was an exercise in futility that he ran in the first place. Do I blame him for not getting out? Old news. Of course, I don't blame him for not getting out. I commend him for sticking it out to the end. But to run in the first place, that was the question. That's where I question Curtis. But we're here to talk about his radio prowess. He's outdoing the competition. I don't know what the ratings are showing. I know WOR does not have necessarily the ratings in the morning from a prior program that ABC has, but I know that performance-wise, on a day-to-day basis, Curtis is outdoing by a long shot what they're doing on WABC. You know, you could fill the time with guest after guest after guest, like they do at 77 WABC, and that doesn't necessarily translate into good radio. You could rotate your guests all you want to rotate your guests. Doesn't necessarily translate to listenable radio. This whole format was supposed to be that you sit in front of a microphone and ideally one person and just stream of consciousness, top of the head conversation. Yes, you have something prepared, but not too much. Callers. The fact that they don't take callers on either station is a problem. But at least on WOR, they actually have something called, I don't know the name of that thing that they do to record your call and have the hosts comment on your call. I don't know what that is again. I forget what they call it, but at least they do have that feature that people can actually call in and get their 2 cents in. So they're adhering to the format, the original format, a little bit better than ABC. And they're doing everything else better than that show in the morning on ABC. Sorry, Sid, I don't dislike you, but Curtis is beating you. Maybe not in the ratings. Maybe the ratings have not evened out yet, but he's doing a better program right now than you are on ABC, and that's a fact. All right, subscribe, disagree, agree, whatever you see fit. And of course, go to that PayPal, make your generous donations. Keep Ralph Romeo keep Ralph Romeo TV afloat. Listen to me nights, WPAT, 6 o'clock, every weekday night, right there on 9:30 a.m. radio, 6 o'clock. WPAT930am.com or right to the radio the old-fashioned way, and you'll hear me talk about the issues every single night. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Take it easy.